Good evening, a beautiful Sunday, and certainly, of course, we look forward to a great week. It's my hope that you've had a great weekend and set for the week. As you're set for the week, we're also set to update you as to what is in the world of news. We have lots lined up for you, including incredible features that our team has worked on to ensure that you get to know of the untold stories. It's going to be a bit different tonight. I know you were expecting for us to have a conversation that is as to the state of the nation, but we shelve that for today. For those ones that are football lovers, shortly, of course, after the news, we'll be bringing you the action, and therefore we say that you make sure that you keep it TV47 and tell those ones that are not tuned in that the time is now. My name is Alela. Lots lined up on TV47 Weekend Edition. We first of all begin by taking a look at the highlights. Tonight, as pressure mounts for justice and answers in the death of teacher and social media influencer Albert Ojwang. New developments tonight. 3 individuals who were in the same police cell as the late Ojwang have been rearrested for further questioning.
Why did Albert Ojwang die? Who was responsible? What the allegations that Albert Ojwang came with?
And the death of Albert Ojwang continues to stir the political courtroom, with opposition heavyweights, including former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, claiming that Ojwang's death was the work of state-sanctioned killer squad. No official response yet from State House.
So that DCI must be prosecuted. That DIG must be prosecuted.
Also, the world marked Father's Day today, a chance for the unsung heroes to bask in some much-deserved spotlight. But here's the question: did you celebrate this day? And more importantly, what does Father's Day mean to you?
Na katika siku hii ya International Father's Day, ningependa kuchukua nafasi hii kuwaenzi na kuwaombea heri na baraka akina baba.
And once again, this is TV47 Weekend Edition with me, Alela. I'll be assisted on the other end by none other than Walter Juma, that is on the sign language interpreter's side. We begin by taking a look at what's going on in the corridors of justice, and basically as to the Ojwang case, where 3 inmates who had been held in custody with the late Albert Ojwang have been rearrested for interrogation as the probe into the murder of the teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang intensifies. Meanwhile, the Council of Evangelist and Pentecost Churches, that is KCCAM, is calling for justice for the family of Albert Ojwang's family and demanding that the persons implicated in this killing or in his killing be brought to book. Sheila Chelangat with the details of that.
As investigations into the murder of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang continues, questions have continued to arise as to whether the teacher will get justice. As of today, only 3 people have been arrested and released, with just less than 48 hours left for the Director of Public Prosecution to complete their investigations.
Also tread carefully.
Today, religious leaders came out to press for justice for Ojwang's family.
We want to see what was the reason. Why did Albert Ojwang die? Who was responsible? What the allegations that Albert Ojwang came with?
This comes as controversy over time and place of death bugs online after CCTV video recordings at Magathi Hospital showing that the late Ojwang arrived at the hospital at 1:35 p.m, already dead, with injuries to the head and other parts of the body.
Anybody, everybody who is involved, he should step down. If they later are found not guilty, no problem. They'll be reinstated to their places of work. If they are found guilty, they must face the full law of the nation.
These church leaders are concerned by the extrajudicial killings in the country and the use of excessive force by the police, calling on President William Ruto to make reforms in the security sector to ensure that police execute their mandates under the law.
The whole process needs to be investigated by the relevant bodies. Whether it is IPOA, whether it is ESCC, all the relevant bodies needs to rise up.
They have called on authorities to inspect the action of police and conduct a thorough investigations into the killings of teacher and blogger Albert Ojwang, as well as extrajudicial killings, and have those responsible held accountable. As investigations intensify, also 3 suspects in custody with Albert have been rearrested. Jean Amitau Abwao in Muthagari Police Station, Collins Karani Iweri in Kileleshwa Police Station, and Brian Muniki Njue at Kilimani Police. They are all interrogated as this probe continues. Sheila Chelangat for TV47.
Thank you, Sheila. Now, in the wake of significant public outcry regarding Albert Ojwang's death, the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has also repeated his claims of the existence of a killer squad within the police service. He alleges that this unit was established under the orders of President William Ruto with the purpose of silencing individuals whom Gachagua labels as government critics. Gachagua asserts that he possesses knowledge of the squad's operations, alleging that it has been responsible for the deaths of numerous Kenyans, with these incidents carefully concealed from the public eye. Micah Gongo with the details of that.
According to Gachagua, who was at a church service in Kirinyaga County, the squad is made up of highly skilled personnel, highlighting how National Intelligence Service NIS boss Nordin Haji seconded this directive.
Hundreds of young people have been tortured to death by a special squad of 101 officers that was set up on the instructions of William Ruto and seconded to NIS and Nordin Haji.
Gachagua claims that this squad was responsible for the mysterious death of Albert Ojwang, and that more Kenyans had died at their hands, with the incidents being skillfully concealed.
Hii tu ni vile tu imeponyoka hii ya Ojwang. Wengi sana wamekufa. And William Ruto cannot run away from these deaths. He is responsible, and Kenyans will punish him for that.
Gachagua urged the international community to step in, asserting that President William Ruto and his suspected co-conspirators should be prosecuted for the assassinations.
And this is just a tip of the iceberg, and we are appealing to the international community to step in Kenya. The level of impunity by William Ruto, he has compromised all oversight bodies.
Other opposition leaders led by Wiper leader Kalonzo Musyoka called out the government over extrajudicial killings, arrests and abductions of innocent Kenyans.
Because we believe it is not a matter ya kuchezea, and therefore Bishop Dio will bring this matter to you, because there's a weeping Kenyan family in Homa Bay. There are many other weeping families.
Wale ambao walihusika katika serikali hii wamejaribu kuficha mambo haya. And the death of Albert Ojwang has been guarded by a bodyguard of lies, all the way from Homa Bay County to Nairobi County.
A Deputy Inspector General of Police Eliud Lagat had filed a defamation complaint against Ojwang, leading to his controversial arrest and subsequent death in the hands of police officers. Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
President William Ruto has criticized his opponents, stating that he cannot hand over the country's leadership to people who, according to him, lack policies and vision for national development. The president was speaking during a special church service organized by the Friends Quakers Church in Kivaiwa Lugari constituency, Kakamega County.
President Ruto has emphasized that his opponents do not have an agenda to help citizens, but are only focused on removing him from power.
Hawa watu wengine hawana mpango, musipoteze na we cannot hand over to people hawana mpango. Ati mpango yao Ruto must go. Sasa Ruto must go itakusaidia na nini? Hujui vile vijana wetu watapata kazi, hujui vile kilimo itaendelea, hujui vile watoto watasoma, huna mpango ya ajira ya vijana, You have no plan to do anything.
Former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has responded to President Ruto, asserting that by saying he won't hand over to the opposition, he has already accepted defeat in the 2027 elections.
Nimesikia Kasongo amesema akiwa huko Western Kenya ati ya kwamba akishindwa hata hand over kwa watu ambaye hawana plan. Wacha nikuambie Kasongo, umefanya mzuri kukubali utashindwa, hapo umepata. Si ndio? Pahali umeangukia Kasongo. There is no provision of handing over in the Kenya Constitution. What there is assumption of office.
Leaders accompanying the president in Kakamega, including National Assembly Speaker Moses Wetangula and Bungoma Governor Ken Lusaka, urged the president to ignore government critics and continue implementing his development agenda.
Sisi kama viongozi lazima kila mahali tumuige mfano wa rais wetu. Ulikuja Bungoma kwa maombi kabla kuapishwa. Tukaomba Mungu akupe hekima, akupe afya mzuri na uendelee kuleta nchi yetu pamoja.
Mama mko hapa si ndio? Ukitengeneza chapati unawekanga upande moja ama unapindua. Kwa hivyo Mheshimiwa Rais amefanya upande moja 5 years, tupindue 5 years iwe chapati ambayo inaweza kukulika. Kweli au rongo?
Ruto's visit to Kakamega County comes just days after Kakamega Senator Boni Khalwale criticized him for focusing more on counties in the Nyanza region in his development efforts. Joash Onsare, TV47.
The Council of Governors Chairperson and Wajir Governor Ahmed Abdullahi has accused the Controller of Budget, Dr. Margaret Nyakango, of frustrating devolution efforts in the country. Now, speaking during a press briefing in Wajir, Governor Abdullahi claimed that the Controller's actions were crippling county operations by delaying disbursement of funds. He noted that such actions not only undermine constitutional mandates, but also threaten service delivery at the grassroots level. The COG chair warned that county governments may be left with no choice but to seek legal redress if the situation persists.
I think about 130 million shillings, which I have to disburse between now and end of June for bursaries. We have signed intergovernmental partnership agreements with the Ministry of Education, but the controller has become difficult. She has become intransigent. She has become unreasonable, extremely unreasonable. And she's taking the county governments through hell in accessing money. It is unacceptable. The biggest threat to devolution today is the control of budgets. There is no control of budgets for county governments and control of budgets for national government. Why we have to carry invoices and contracts and receipts all the way from Wajir and queue in her office for weeks to access money, I do not understand. And this is hell that every county government has been taken through. We want to be told whether we're really serious as a country about devolution. Why is it so difficult for counties to access the monies that have been appropriated for them? Yet counties are only accessing 9% of the annual budget of Kenya. We can't pay fees for kids who need.
And as a reminder of this special day, Kenyans joined the rest of the world in marking International Father's Day at St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in Ruiru. Men were advised to take care of their mental health, especially during these economic times or tough times. Here in Nairobi at the Holy Family Basilica, men were celebrated as the heads of families, and these celebrations spewed over to the internet, where Kenyans posted videos of their fathers as a way of appreciating them. Mudhoni Brenda with the details on how Kenyans marked International Father's Day.
Kenyans joined the rest of the world in marking International Father's Day, a day that was first celebrated in 1910 by an American citizen known as Sonora Smart, who intended to celebrate her father for raising 6 children on his own. At St. Francis of Assisi Catholic Church in Ruiru, these celebrations took center stage. Fathers were urged to prioritize their mental health, especially during this time that a lot of Kenyans are complaining about the economic situation in the country.
Katika changamoto za maisha tunakutana na wale ambao wamelemewa ama wanalemewa na uzito wa maisha, uzito wa familia, uzito wa mahusiano, na tunawaomba kwanza wajikaze, na baada ya kujikaza waweze kutafuta marafiki zao, waongee na wao.
Fathers were further advised to follow in the footsteps of men who ooze humility and leadership qualities, with Joseph, the father of Jesus, being given as the ultimate example.
Kama wanaume, la kushikilia maboma zetu, kushikilia kanisa letu, kuguide kanisa, kuguide watoto wetu, sababu hilo ndio jukumu tunalopewa.
In Nairobi, Holy Family Basilica celebrated fathers as heads of households, where they were advised to create time to communicate and bond with their families.
Kuwa baba ni tofauti na kuwa mbaba. Kwa hivyo wengi wa baba ni akina baba. Wengi wa mbaba ni wa baba. Ukiwa baba unafurahiwa na familia yako.
On the internet, Kenyans flooded timelines with pictures of their fathers accompanied by lovely captions dedicated to them. On TikTok, fathers were incited to dance along to TikTok challenges as a way of marking this important day. Father's Day was marked in different parts of the country, but if compared to Mother's Day celebrations which were marked recently, Mother's Day carried the day. Modhoni Brenda for TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Modhoni, for that beautiful reminder. Of course, we open the lines for you to tell us or share your experiences, of course, with your dad. Just how significant is this day for you? How have you celebrated your dad? You know, in whatever capacity, we continue to appreciate these men that are pillars of society. So we need to pay some bills. And of course, after this short break, we also come with a beautiful story of a reminder of what the Ma community, and especially the dads, are doing to protect their girls from the cat, to protect their girls from that heinous aspect of them being denied the rights as women in society. They now can own land and so much more. Therefore, a story you need to look out for as we celebrate our heroes after this break.
Coming up after the break. Despite decades of campaigns, the scourge of female genital mutilation, or the CAT, remains active in many parts of Kenya. With access to education blocked and entire futures at risk, the question now is, what will it take to finally eliminate the CAT once and for all?
This is Kenya's #1 talk show, Dr. Frederick tonight. My name is the Eagle himself. Dr. Frederick is my name.
We are flipping the script, but guess what? Or should I say, guess who is taking over tonight's show?
Ani wewe furahia umekaa na kasipuni. CP unit ni Punet.
Ni Punet.
Punet.
So you guys knew about...
Piga.
Sawa basi. Nasema, that gave you the whole time.
I don't want to go back to brokenness.
Never.
I just love the high life. Siwezi taka kuimagine ati nimesota.
You have to watch to find out. Tune in every Wednesday from 7:30 p.m.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. Winston Churchill.
Enjoy uninterrupted live streaming of your favorite.
And welcome back to TV47 Weekend Edition, and straight to that beautiful piece. In February 2019, more than 3,000 Maasai gathered to witness elders publicly declare an end to FGM in Loita, a historic milestone that has since bore fruits for Morijo and for Kenya, and in this spirited movement to end the harmful tradition. Despite the gains, shadows of FGM still linger, signaling conflicting positions between customary and civil laws. Now, that's where, we're introduced to help the end of the vice. Linda Alela, and that is me, visited this community that decries of the government's approach in helping them break the FGM blade. Stakeholders say there is need for deep sensitization to help the community fully end the cut. Let's take a look at this piece.
My camera person and I have traveled all the way to Narok County. We receive a grand welcome to this culture. What is interesting is that we haven't met any lady yet. Traditionally, it is the men that make such grand welcome, perhaps for security purposes, lest they welcome an enemy.
All right, so time to taste it, and I'm like, ooh, let's see. Of course, into it, but the business of the day is all about understanding the culture here, and importantly, just getting to know how the men are involving themselves in aiming away cases of gender-based violence, early marriages, female genital mutilation, because then, of course, the society is headed towards zeroing these cases, and the men here are saying that they are committed to this.
We are now at home, and our minds quickly shifted to the business of the day. We tell you how the Ma community's journey to shunning GBV, early marriages, FGM and the likes is unfolding. It has taken years of struggles, pioneering spirits and commitment to listening and talking openly.
It injured their productive system. And now we are not now having any demand to marry a lady who have been circumcised at any all. Because there's some things of that it has effects that we have saw or we have come across of.
Our nomadic communities have very complex cultures, so it is not going to take 100 years. It will take more than 100 years for us to implement some of these things, if at all the government and the civil society does not move fast in bringing what we could say supplementary cultures, issues that would completely change, like education, the role of women in the society, the role of boys, men in the society. It has to be understood in a very modern and postmodern way, not in a traditional way. And the replacement of, if you take away FGM, what else do you bring in? If FGM was used as the stage, as the rite of passage to become an adult, to become a woman in the society, what else? This understanding, you have to bring something else into this vacuum.
The world has a deep desire to protect the girls and allow them to flourish. In the heart of Kenya's Loita Hills, a quiet revolution is unfolding. Here among the Maasai pastoralists of Loita, centuries-old traditions are meeting the winds of change. This is the story of a community's struggle and its hope in the fight to end gender-based violence.
Sema huwezi toa sheria na mama atoe sheria. Nasema mtu mmoja atakuwa na sheria kwa familia. So tunapenda tukiongea mama anatusikiza. But mambo ya kuchapa wa mama sasa tumeacha. Tunaelewana sasa kwa sasa, lakini kuna wale kichwa ngumu.
Unaweza pata mama amefanya kazi yake, baba ndio yeye anakuja anachukua kila kitu chake na wewe sisema kitu. Ukiongea ni vita.
They don't get equal chances of leadership. They don't get equal chances of being a child in the village. So where you find little girls being subjected to FGM and early marriages. So we have become a voice to those girls.
As MCLD, we believe that when women are empowered in all spheres, including social, economic, and political spheres, they become resilient to some of these shocks, like FGM and other forms of GBV, because then they become very informed and they are able to speak and challenge these practices.
The Ma community, particularly the Maasai, enjoy a rich culture deeply intertwined with their pastoralist lifestyle and reverence for cattle, which serve as both a vital food source and a symbol of wealth and social status.
The kids of those love wives, they are not all to be going to school. This is because they say that they believe that when I get them to go to take after the cattle, that's the way they show their love. But now those who of the servant's wife who does not love, they tell them that let them go to school for wasting time.
For generations, girls in Oltarakwe and Murijo in Loita Narok County have faced the painful rite of passage, female genital mutilation, a practice rooted deep in Maasai culture, marking the transition to womanhood.
Waliniambia nikeketwe nikakataa. Ni ile kuforce lila nilikataa.
Nearly 80% of Ma women have undergone this procedure, risking their health, their dignity, and sometimes their lives.
Damu iko important kwa mwili yako kama mafuta kwa gari. Sawa. So kama hauna damu kwa mwili, hauna nguvu, si ndio? Kama hauna nguvu, si utazimia? Ukizimia unaweza fanya nini nyingine? Damu ikiendelea kutoka, unaweza kufa. Si ndio? Na wasichana wengi, unajua watu waambia, but wasichana wengi wamekufa kutoka kwa hiyo kukeketwa, si ndio?
As if not enough, many have faced gender-based violence, their voices suppressed in the presence of men, and they have for long been denied the right to own land. That is slowly changing.
She says one girl is given land because she is physically disabled. So that means the people with disabilities have also benefited. So one of our daughters has gotten land because of that nature.
We visit two families once bound by the traditions that normalized gender-based violence. They're now leading a new path, one shaped by the transformative teachings of the church. The family of Shadrach Olorkipai and Joseph Oleseile. Though Shadrach has experienced the Ma culture firsthand, he has become liberal enough to ease the lives of the women in his life, his wife and children. In Morijo, we visit the homestead of Shadrach Kipai, who lives with a wife. They have 5 children. 3 of them are boys and 2 are girls. And so they share their story of how they have transformed from the traditional norms of the Maasai culture, in the sense that they say no to the blade, and they have decided that their girls are not going to undergo the cut. It is simply because of Christianity, as well as what has been dictated by government. But they are happy they seem excited about shunning this vice. And of course, it is a happy home because then you get to see the smiles that they give you, contrary to what you would expect, that most of the times the lady is under the man in the Maasai culture. So tumefurahi sana kuwatembelea. Asanteni sana kwa kutukaribisha. Vizuri, watoto wapi? Uko salama, eh? They tell us the reasons why they have chosen that path. Magdalene shares her experience after the cut. She speaks to the husband in Maasai and he translates to us.
Yes, na kelelek nye imo oltung'ani kelelek oleng ketii enkerai naa kelaikino yie aitoiu tenkaraki ina siai naibung'a nyoo osesen. Mpaka neeku naa nelaikino yie aitoiu ina kerai. Ore ade elau enkerai eishunye enkerai osarge naa ina oshi peeji orerero enche osarge nyoo tenkaraki nyoo ena siai namurata.
Vile ameshaona mwenyewe wakati nasaa anapitia mashida mingi. Amesema mnajua hiyo sehemu kikeketwa ni kama imeuka jeraha. Sasa ikawa sasa mtoto kitokea inatokea kwa uchungu mingi. Inatokea kwa uchungu mingi. Kwa sababu
wewe
amesema nimeshaona hata wale ambao hajafariwa kisa. Amesema nasaa kwa rahisi sana. Kwa sababu yake inapanuka tu vizuri polepole. Na yao inagandana na katagu. Hata saa zingine anasema karibu mtoto kufie tuku.
Shadrach acknowledges that the struggles cut across. He says that the cut takes away the sexual desire for women, hence they do not get to enjoy the divine conjugal right.
Akikeketwa haitakuwa na shida yote kwa kuhusu hiyo kitu. Sio rahisi hapa ashike ama apende. Nasema ni ukweli kabisa, akikeketwa haitakuwa kama ile ambayo hajatahiriwa.
Hiyo kwa sababu imekeketwa kulala tu hiyo hakuna.
Not so far from here, there is Joseph Oleseile's home. The stories in these homes are so similar, signifying change. We find him enjoying the afternoon with his family.
Karibu watu wote hakuja kushika njia moja kupita kukataa. Kwa sababu kwa hii kanisa letu hawa mapasta ndio analeta hiyo masimamo. Mbeleni ilikuwa hata inatarauliwa na watu, lakini siku hizi ni kupichana tu kidogo kidogo. Lakini sisi kwa ajili ya kuheshimu Mungu ndio tulipata hiyo masimamo kwamba hatuwezi kupeana wasijana wetu wakiwa wadogo aolewe na kufanyia hiyo kazi ya kutahiri. Hapana, tunakataa.
Kwa sababu walipata tabia ambayo kina mama walikuwa kina mama yao. Akapata nafasi ya kujifungua.
They have visitors who equally share their experiences and why they find it liberating to end the cut.
Siwezi fanya hivyo kwa sababu sisi tulifanywa, mimi nilifanywa hivyo. Lakini watoto wangu siwezi fanya kwa sababu tuko na heshima ya Mungu. Sasa naye tuko hivyo, tunasoma Biblia. Kwa Biblia iliandikwa kijana akifikisha mwaka 8 atahiriwa, afanyiwe ishara ya atahiriwe kijana, lakini msichana hapana. Ndio sisi tukakubali tushike njia ya Mungu.
Wasichana mimi hawezi tahiri kwa sababu nimeamini Mungu. Na nimeona pasta wengine makana haya anafundisha sisi wakati sisi ni wakijana. Hata mimi nimeweka akili. Nimesema ningeenda kupata hiyo nini? Hata mimi naenda kufuja hiyo history ya Maasai kwa sababu nimependa Mungu. Na kwa saa hii nimependa Mungu sana. Hata mimi yuko wasichana 3. Hata yuko mmoja yuko form 3. Na sijatahiri na stahiri.
They and many others tell us how girls who refused the cut were shunned, denied marriage, and their children excluded from community leadership. Stories of these families and others have sparked conversations in Morijo. Breaking the silence around FGM, The challenge is immense, clouded with deep-rooted traditions, secrecy and stigma, all clung tightly to the practice.
Hata nye hospitali kupelekwa hospitali sasa ni shida. Unaogopa kushikwa.
The government, maybe the solution haitakuwa only to persecute, to prosecute. Ikipata such cases, maybe itakuwa better if they actually handle the situation even beyond like rehabilitation for the girls. When you wamesha practice, they actually follow up on the girls' education. If they come in that positive way, maybe they'll be adopted better and wakwe pia easily accessible.
Churches and NGOs in these regions, such as the AIC, have developed specialized manuals and run youth camps to educate both boys and girls about healthy relationships and the dangers of GBV.
The government also came in because the law now prohibits FGM, and so the government have given us a very strong backing because when we have people who are practicing this, we can take them to the chief's office or to the police, and they will be apprehended. That has given us a leeway for us to win the battle.
I think we have made progress. If you look at the status of GBV and FGM in general, in comparison to maybe 2 decades or 3 decades ago, I think we have made progress. But even with this progress, in terms of policies and all these laws, which never used to be there, I think we still have a long way to go. We have to really keep on learning, what aren't we doing right and how can we strengthen these efforts. And that's why I'm saying that it's very important for us to really change tact. We cannot just use the legal way only to tackle this sensitive, serious cultural issue.
These programs are making a tangible difference.
Sisi tulifanya hatukuwa najua, lakini ubaya saizi ukisha jua na mnazidi tu kupatia watoto waambie tu bado. Watoto sasa isipitishwe hata dakika moja hiyo bila, kwa sababu hakuna faida, hiyo ni kubizana tu wote. Yes.
This is Oltarakwe Primary School. Community leaders, men and women, elders and warriors, children, girls and boys came together to listen, to learn and to lead.
This thing is highly stereotypic. It's just a belief that if I'm not circumcised, then I'm not clean, then I'm not blah, 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 so many things. They have got their own justifications as why they do that. Of course, they have a very long list of reasons why they do that, okay? So with education chipping in and religion, I believe we can maneuver and overcome this practice.
It's not supposed now. Let's say, Harone say that to be married to a lady is not all to be married by a Maasai. You can be married by someone else apart from Maasai.
Wanasema huwezi kuwa na kulala na wanaume wengine juu umekeketwa, hiyo ni uongo. Wanawake wako na more than 10. Sa ukiangalia hiyo reason yenye wanasema ukikeketwa ndio uta reduce hiyo ni nini uongo.
Home Care International, with the support of grassroots organizations, have forged a new path, replacing the cart with a non-harmful rite of passage. Instead of knife, the pen has been passed to the girl, the power to read and write.
Even those girls who refuse to get through circumcision, they go to school, they get knowledge, and they get a certificate also in school and even in graduation.
It means for me to have to continue my study after university. I graduated to university, and then I have also to marry the ones who graduate university for we to get to help the parents, our parents, not only my parents, but our parents.
The community has been sensitized. The parents know that it's important to also educate the girl child as it is important to educate the boy child. So wanapatiwa opportunity also to go further. Wanapewa malize form 4. And now actually the government has come in place such that ukipatikana ukimarry off a girl who's still in school, because a class 8 is still a student below 18 years. So right now it's even in the law that ukimarry off an 18-year-old girl, unachukuliwa sheria.
Other forms of power given to the girl is the right to own land, the right to have a say in community, and the beauty of interacting with their men freely. Wife buttering, fear of men, special foods for men are slowly becoming a game of the past.
Juzi tulipokuwa hapa, muniruhusu tu niwaambie ukweli. Kwa sababu tunataka kusaidia watoto wengi waende shuleni na wasome. Mimi ni mkufunzi, huyu ni mkufunzi, na zote tunataka watu wasome.
Is that now the government are very, very robust on this. There is an Anti-FGM Act of 2011. Yeah, that was enacted on 30th September 2011. So the government is really working so hard to ensure that this FGM is not there. But the problem is, I think due to the facility of the land, some areas have no access to these campaigns. Seeing this campaign here is a blessing, and it's also going to be very educative to our young generations. We are going to have an experience, a change. We are not saying it's not there completely, but we are working so hard to ensure that it's not going to be there in the future.
Though the people continue to struggle with identifying the rightful place of the woman and when to engage on sensitive talks, especially about sex and the reproductive health. These talks they consider sensitive, but women and children step out to come later.
Unataka ile imekatwa ama ile haijakatwa? Sema tu. Hakuna shida. Hakuna sehemu inaandikwa. Na wewe? Ile haijakatwa. Wewe amesema anataka ile haijakatwa. Wewe amesema ile imekatwa, na wewe? Wewe yoyote kama imekatwa ni sawa. Kama haijakatwa ni sawa.
When men are asked if they could marry uncircumcised girls,
preferably my preference, I think love is blind, so I don't mind kama amecircumcisewa ama hajacircumcisewa, because that's a tradition that used to be there, and people a lot of my age group, people around my size, a lot of them maybe 0.5% or maybe wame experience ama wamejionea mtu mwenye amefanyiwa. So we have cases wenye wamefanyiwa, and it's not good to discriminate a girl because of the practices zenye zimekuwa zikifanywa traditionally.
Hao watu usiona kata wanafunika, si ndio? Inakuja inajifunika vile mama amesema inajifunika. Ikijifunika kuzani shida.
Despite the discomfort, this meeting signifies elements of tangible gains. Girls are staying in schools longer, their health safeguarded. Women are stepping into new roles and their voices growing stronger.
Pata mafunzo mazuri. Kwa sasa Wamasai hawafanyi hiyo kazi kabisa. Wameacha kukeketa wasichana na wameacha pia kupeana watoto wao wakiwa wadogo. Wasichana wanapata masomo na wanapata elimu na kuja kusaidia familia zao.
In a groundbreaking move, women in Morijo are now receiving land, equal parcels alongside men for the first time in Maasai history.
Hata sisi wamama tumehesabika kwa Mungu, tuko na land, kila mtu na parcel yake. Mzee ako na parcel yake na mama ako na parcel yake. Na hiyo tunasema ya kwamba Mungu ametukubalia ama Mungu ametupa kibali katika familia ambazo tunaishi. Tunashukuru Mungu kwa sababu katika masaini sometime nakosana na mzee anakuambia nenda kwenu na usirudi tena kwangu, lakini kwa sasa tunafurahi kwa sababu unaambiwa nenda kwenu, unaingia kwa shamba yako, ndakaa kwa muda, mnaposikizana tena mnarudi kukaa pamoja.
When the land adjudication was done in this land, I am glad that I have also gotten a piece of land. I have my own personal farm. My sons have got their own farms.
Empowerment is breaking the cycle of violence, and as women gain assets and education, cases of gender-based violence subside. The community is rewriting the narrative, challenging early marriages and other harmful practices.
Ukitahidi ni kama umefika kila mahali, pia masomo. FGM ni hatari sana. Unaona watu wengi wenye wamepitia hiyo process, wako na watoto, wengine wameoleka.
These efforts need to go beyond the law. I think it's important that we have dialogue with these communities. Let's not use a top-down approach. Let's use a community-led approach where we have communities really being involved in this discourse, raising concerns and perspectives on how this can be addressed. Because FGM, whether we like it or not, it's a cultural issue. It's a cultural issue, and communities who experience these problems also know solutions to these problems, and let's not leave them behind in this conversation.
These cases are not unique to the Maasai community. They extend to the global stage with a growing number of FGM cases conducted in hospitals, the very same spaces where correctional surgeries are conducted.
Now as we talk, there are over 2.1 million children that have been circumcised in the last days. So 2.1 million young girls have been circumcised in the last days. Not only here in Kenya, but worldwide. And you know, UN, UNICEF, and we have Kenya signed the UN Charter in 2017 to end FGM worldwide, and many other countries. I think there were 89 countries that signed the UN Charter to end FGM completely.
The journey is far from over, yet the road ahead looks promising.
There are hospitals that are doing reconstruction surgery. We have one in Eldoret, and they do over 200 reconstruction surgeries every year, so that mothers may give birth without any pain, and mothers may also have a love life with their partners without, even girls with their partners without any pain.
Denying the girl child a chance to education, denying the girl child a chance to own a land, are some of the struggles that the Maasai women have been going through for ages and ages. But they are saying no to these traditions that are heinous to the rights of the girl child. And together, they have come to make sure that they loop in their men so that, they can have this conversation towards ending this vice. And they are open to speak about the difficulties that they go through, especially for those that have undergone the cut.
The question is, do we do that? Because like the place we have visited in Morijo, Old Tarakwai and Narosora, it is being practiced, and you see they know it, but they are afraid to shout. Because if we really follow the course on how to deal with this problem, it will be very easy to punish everyone who is informed and doesn't inform the authorities. That is the biggest challenge that we have. But the law is very clear that everyone who knows it or everyone who practices it is liable for punishment.
Change takes time. Some still cling to the old ways, and the threat of secret cutting remains. Yet, with every conversation, every public declaration, Morijo moves closer to a future where girls grow up free from harm and women stand as equals.
Kina mama hoye! Kina mama hoye, wamama wa Morijot hoye, wamama wa Loita hoye, wamama wa Maa hoye. Isn't this a progress that is worth celebrating? That we're talking about a different era where the Ma ladies are saying no to female genital mutilation. The Ma ladies now have a chance to go to school and send their girls to school. The Ma ladies are equally celebrating the fact that they now own pieces of land, and now they are moving from spaces where they have been experiencing tight moments in society. And they are saying that they appreciate the heavens, but equally appreciate the government for the commitment to giving back power to the girl child. Reporting for TV47 in Morijo, Loita, Narok County, my name is Linda Alela. Oh, beautiful. And as well, we appreciate the fathers of Mara for contributing to this incredible move in shifting the society from a female genital mutilation. We appreciate everyone that contributed to building that broadcast. Now, Mara Hospital has been celebrating or is celebrating 60 years of service to the nation, marking a legacy of quality health care. Founded by the Sisters of Mercy, the hospital has remained a key pillar in the country's healthcare systems. As part of the 60th anniversary celebrations, the government of Slovakia has extended a hand of support, donating essential maternal and neonatal care equipment that is to boost the hospital's commitment to saving lives.
I'm here to give you thanks for the good work we have done in the week, and I speak on behalf of these 9 children whom you are given new lease of life.
Indeed, this partnership has been growing from strength to strength, and largely due to the support that's been nurtured through Slovak Aid. I think, Your Excellency, if you look into the room, you see the evidence of growth and skills transfer that is happening, which was a key pillar of this partnership. As we continue to grow this cardiac program, again, an analysis was done through that partnership. And we got advisories from Dr. Rudolph in the context of introducing younger practitioners.
See the equality between male and female health workers. This attribute is very important for my country. This is a proof that your hospital is, the principles are based on inclusivity, professionalism, and of course,
so that we can continue with the work that we have begun. And just like Dr. Robosia said, remember the small grant so that we can do the November mission. In the African culture, when you visit a home, you go with a token. So my team, Victoria and Eunice, kindly come forward so that we can appreciate our guests.
All right, the Kenya Roads Board has come up with a new model to fast-track road development across the country. For years, Kenya's road has been plagued by delayed payments and unfinished projects, and of course threatening not just infrastructure delivery, but also credibility of the system itself. Kenya Roads Board has, of course, as of December 2024, over 175 billion shillings in verified pending bills were owed to the contractors, and this is money for roads already built or half complete. Yet contractors who delivered them have waited for years to be paid. In face of this crisis, the KRB has adopted a bold strategy, that is securitization, and this model allows the board to raise funds, that is for the road maintenance levy, for the next 10 years. This move will unlock future revenue without increasing levies.
Unafaa kuwa na follow up ya hizo projects, kama venye Magufuli alikuwa anakuja anasema kuna project ilianzwa, kuna pesa zilipatianwa na kuna pesa kama pesa zilikuliwa ama pesa hazikufanya kazi yenye inafaa. Juu sasa hakuna follow up, unapata project imeanzwa, then bado ingine inaanzwa juu hiyo ingine, na bado hii ingine haijamalizika.
Ganisha kuliko magari iwe inasuguka, so itakuwa inafuka na inakuja na inaingia kwa barabara highway, na kwa masaa machache inakuwa vitu ya mali yetu imefika Nairobi.
Right, that tells you that we are getting sporty. And of course, we start over this story from service to stardom. Kenyan Premier League side, Kenya Police wrote their name, that is in the history books, as they clinched their first ever FKF Premier League title for the first time in history. This comes after the Ndariganje, a 10-year-led side, showcased their class as they saw off rivals Shabana FC 1-0 in a mouth-watering encounter played at the Kenyatta Stadium, with Brian Okoth scoring the winning goal after a towering header in the 75th minute. The law enforcers will be crowned on their final match, scheduled for next week on Sunday, when they take on former champions for Gor Mahia.
Analeta kona ndani. Kichwa kama teke. Brian Okoth. Wenda mafikisha pandisho mwaka 2021.
All right, Morocco boasts of having the most, of course, complex, or perhaps the best complex in Africa, that is as to sports. The facility, which is also the headquarters of the Moroccan Royal Football Federation, was inaugurated in 2019 after a renovation costing over 10 billion shillings. Our reporter Tony Kwalanda recently toured the complex and tells us just why it is a national symbol under the framework of a public-private partnership.
King Hassan II loved soccer so much. Now that was transferred to King Mohammed VI, who is currently the king of Morocco. And that's why Morocco has for a long time flourished in football, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s.
Monday, the 9th of December 2019, His Majesty King Mohammed VI officially unveiled this sports center located in Rabat's twin city, Saleh. Under the framework of a public-private partnership, the newly renovated facility gobbled up over 9 billion Kenya shillings, or 60 million euros. This investment is already paying off, by Morocco sitting at the top of the FIFA World Rankings in Africa as of June 2025. The engine behind the success story, the Moroccan Royal Football Federation, is stationed here.
We have hosted here 90% of the African teams, boys, girls, under 20, under 17. So we are very proud of to have this kind of infrastructure in Morocco, and of course it's always in the benefit of Africa. As our King Mohammed VI have said in 2017, we need to have more South-South cooperation and more cooperation between Africans, and that's what we're trying to do here at our level as a football association, Royal Football Association of Morocco.
Located on a 29.3 hectare piece of land, it was built to host Morocco's national teams during preparation camps, as well as foreign national squads who wish to undergo training. It has 9 football fields, comprising of 4 with natural grass, 3 made of artificial turf, a hybrid one which combines natural grass with synthetic fibers, and an indoor pitch that is used for futsal games.
Okay. This pitch is dedicated only to the national team.
Okay.
So
the national team, that is
yes, of Hakimi Jazz,
yes,
for the national A team, as we called it. It can be men or women, as I told you before.
Yes.
And this is the main pitch. For the others, they train in the 9 other pitches that we have just right there.
Okay.
And here is only for the training. And what is very cool is that all the youth categories that can be in the complex at the same time, they all sit on this bench, this long bench, and they can have a look on the training of those stars, yes, and then can think about one day being at on this pitch with those players.
other international associations that are affiliated to FIFA and CAF. And by the time we were touring this complex, we managed to see the England national team.
The complex has accommodation for the senior national team with 66 rooms and 4 suites. The project also houses 3 blocks with a capacity of 150 beds for the under-23 national team and 45 rooms with a capacity of 80 beds for the under-17 national team.
We have 1 hotel dedicated to a team and 3 hotels dedicated to all the other teams who can be there. For example, we can have a friendly game between under-17 Morocco and under-17 Kenya. Morocco will be in the Hotel C and Kenya will be in Hotel B. It's something that can happen. It's only the A who is dedicated. The others are, it depends on the activities we have.
In line with FIFA and CAF standards, the facility has a new generation performance and sports medicine center with departments for physiotherapy, electrotherapy, cryotherapy, radiology, ultrasound, dentistry, nutritional medicine, psychology, trauma and stress testing. It also has state-of-the-art gym facilities complete with images of King Mohammed VI in 1995 and King Hassan II in 1985.
Yes, that was just a sneak preview of the Morocco complex. Certainly, we're looking forward to get more details of that very, very piece by none other than Tony Kwalanda. Polite reminder that indeed we still have a long way to go as a country, but of course we are positive despite the fact that they say we might not be ready for CHAN. But anyway, we shelve that and we get to some more sporting action. The football lovers will understand this language. Paris Saint-Germain alongside Atletico Madrid happening right here on TV47. So I'm telling you to stick around for some great action as to football. And of course, that is the FIFA Club World Cup 2025. Here is to the action. My name is Linda Alela, appreciating the team that has made this a success, of course, alongside as well the sign language interpreter Juma Walter. There you go, the action. Yeah, there you go. We're about to get to the field. Paris Saint-Germain versus Atletico Madrid. And I know those ones that love football are eagerly waiting to be treated to some nice action. Now, you don't have to go to the club. You can actually watch this right from home. You don't have some money. You're thinking tomorrow is Monday. This is your time to enjoy as you keep it TV47. My name is Linda Alela. Have a good night.